بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد، يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد، يا عباد الله، الحمد لله على نعمة الإسلام والسنة. All praise and thanks belong to Allah for guiding us to Islam and for guiding us to the Sunnah. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: بدأ الإسلام غريبا وسيعود غريبا كما بدأ فطوبى للغرباء. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, Islam began strange and it shall return to being strange. So glad tidings to the strangers. Ya ibadullah, it is incumbent and it is a must that we are firm and steadfast upon the sunnah of Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that we are steadfast, holding on to Allah's book, holding on to the sunnah of His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, ala fahm salaf ummah, upon the understanding of the salaf of this ummah, upon the understanding of the sahaba, upon the understanding of the tabi'un, upon the understanding of the atba' tabi'in. It is incumbent and it is a must that we hold on to our deen. It is incumbent and it is a must that we do things that will help as relates to our progress, that we do things that will help as relates to our prosperity, that we do things that will help as relates to our success. And it is incumbent that we avoid those things which are detrimental to our achievements and to our success and to our prosperity and the like. It is a must that we set ourselves up to win and that we do not set ourselves up to lose. Ya ibadullah. Bila shak bila rayb, undoubtedly, we live in a time where Islam is strange. We live in a land where Islam is strange. We live in a land where we have individuals who they do not have our best interest in mind. We have individuals who they do not love us. We have individuals who they would never ever be pleased with us. And this is the reality, this is the state in which we are in. So it is incumbent and it is a must that we fortify ourselves by doing those things which are legislated that will lend to our prosperity, that will lend to our success and to our progress. Ya ibadullah. One of the noble brothers from New York, he called me and he was very concerned because of the state that we find ourselves in, because of the attitude that others they have about the Muslims, because of the rise of Islamophobia, and so on and so forth. To which I gave him a very small piece of advice, practical piece of advice. in which I said to him that the best way to fight Islamophobia and the best way to insulate ourselves from the likes of these things is by establishing strong Islamic communities, not neighborhoods, because a neighborhood is just an area where there are a group of people who live there, but communities where you have a collection of people who live together in close proximity to one another, but you have control within that community because you have therein an infrastructure that relates to you, that is by you, and that is for you. This is the best way to insulate ourselves because we are not going to change every mind. We are not going to change every single individual. We are not going to have them bend and break to our will. So it is incumbent, as opposed to begging to sit at the table of someone else, that we establish our own table that makes us independent of needing anything from them. It is incumbent and it is a must that we as Muslims have this type of izzah, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has guided us to Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has honored us with Islam, and the izzah is in Islam. The izzah, the nobility, the might, it is in following it in Islam. It is in being a good Muslim. Ya ibadallah, we have to stick to the fundamentals. We have to stick to those things that we already know. Ya ibadallah, it is incumbent that we build the life of these communities. But we must understand that any community, it has to start upon a foundation. It has to start upon a foundation. And that foundation, bila shak wa bila rayb, before any physical building, before anything that is constructed of brick and mortar, then that foundation is the proper iman. That foundation is the proper belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That foundation is the proper methodology. That foundation is the proper worship. Ya ibadallah, it is incumbent, it is a must that we rectify our aqeedah, that we have an aqeedah that is sahiha. It is incumbent, it is a must that we rectify our methodology, so that we have a minhaj that is sareem. Ya ibadallah, it is incumbent, it is a must that we establish these things. And then after that, and in addition to that, because that does not end, that is the beginning, that's the middle, and that is the ending. That is something that is a constant throughout the progress. But after we focus in on the likes of these things, and while focusing in on the likes of these things, then we have to strive to build the masajid. We have to strive to build the masajid. Allah, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, من بنى لله مسجدا بنى الله في الجنة له مثله. That whoever builds for Allah a masjid, then Allah will build for him the likes of it in Jannah. Then Allah will build the likes of it for him in Jannah. Ya ibadallah, we just spoke about not setting ourselves up for loss. From those things in which that we need, especially the men, especially the males, especially the men, is that we need the masajid so that we can pray together in congregation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us of this inside the Qur'an. وَرُقَعُوا مَعَ الرَّاكِعِينَ, and bow with those who bow. Bow with those who bow inside of the masajid, inside of the congregational prayers. It is incumbent for men that we do not set ourselves up for loss, but that we strive to establish those places where we can come together to pray. We strive to establish those places where we can come together to learn. We strive to establish those places where we can come together to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We establish those places we can get a break from the monotony of this society and get some tranquility. It is incumbent that we do this. And in order that we do not set ourselves up for loss, that which only makes sense if we understand the importance of the masajid, if we understand the importance of praying in jama'ah, then we will have to live in close proximity to the masajid. Because if not, are we trying to set ourselves up for loss? Because if not, are we trying to make it hard for ourselves to succeed? So it is incumbent that we should move near and close to the masjid. It is incumbent that we should strive to move near and close to the masajid. So, if we want success, if we truly want the Jannah, then what are we doing from actions to get the Jannah? What are we doing in actions to work for the Jannah? If we truly want to be successful, what are we doing as relates to our actions? If we live near to the masjid and we are not coming here, then the question is, do you really want good for yourself? Do you really want to go to Jannah? Do you really want to meet Allah and He's pleased with you? You live close to the masjid and you do not come for the congregational prayer? Do you really want success for yourself? Do you really want improvement for yourself? Or are you just an individual who has deluded yourself, who has tricked yourself, who is lying to yourself? Ya ibadallah, it is incumbent, it is a must. When we look to this hadith, من بنى لله مسجدا, that whoever builds for Allah a masjid, بأمواله, that with his money, he puts forth his money to establish a masjid. How many from amongst us are putting forth our money to establish a masjid? How many from amongst us who are putting forth our monies to establish the house of Allah? How many from amongst us who are putting forth our monies where we can have classes for our children, where our children can come and learn about the true aqidah, where our children can come and learn about the true minhaj, where our children can come and learn the Qur'an, they can come and learn the hadith. What are we doing as relates to helping and aiding and assisting with this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us to work and cooperate upon birr wa taqwa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us that we cooperate upon righteousness, that we cooperate upon piety. How are we cooperating? What are we doing? When we look at this hadith, whoever builds for Allah a masjid, meaning with his money or meaning with his body, that they physically help, they physically do things. How many from amongst us are striving with our physical selves to upkeep the masjid, to maintain the masajid, to clean and to fragrance the masajid, to do those physical things that are needed to help out in the masjid? How many from amongst us are striving to do this? Each one of us, we know within ourselves. The only question I have to you that I want you to reflect on is, do we really want to go to Jannah? And if so, what are we doing to try to get there? هذا أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولجميع المسلمين فاستغفروه فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. يا عباد الله, what are we doing trying to get to the Jannah? When we look back at this hadith, من بنى لله مسجدا, whoever builds for Allah a masjid, we see the statement of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, لله, for Allah, وهذا تنبيه على الإخلاص. And this is a reminder for sincerity, that it has to be sincere, that we put forward our efforts to establish the masajid, not so it could be said about us that we did such and such, not to show off, but fi sabilillah, lillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى, that verily actions are but by their intentions, and everyone shall have the reward based upon what they intended. So it is incumbent that we intend Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sincerely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us that whatever we do from goodness, that we will see it. Whatever we do from goodness, we will see it. وَمَا تُقَدِّمُوا لِأَنفُسِكُم مِّنْ خَيْرٍ تَجِدُوهُ عِندَ اللَّهِ. And whatever you put forward for yourselves, لِأَنفُسِكُم, whatever you do from goodness, from good deeds, it is for your benefit. It's for your benefit, Ya Ibadullah. It's for your benefit, Ya Abdullah. It's for your benefit, Ya Amatullah. It's for your benefit. That whatever you put forward from good for yourself, then you will find it with Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He rewards you for it, if it is sincerely done for Him. If it is upon the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then you will find reward for it. If it is not for Allah, it will not count. If it's not upon the sunnah of Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it will not count. it is incumbent and it is a must that we put forward these deeds, that we strive to succeed. Ya ibadullah. The statement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the likes of it, مثله, the likes of it, أي في كونه بيتا, meaning that it is a house, meaning that it is a house, that whoever strives, whoever builds a masjid for Allah, Allah will build for them in the Jannah that which is like it. Meaning, in the name, in the structure. Why is this? Because as we know, الْحَسَنَةُ بِعَشْرِ أَمْثَالِهَا, because a good deed is multiplied by 10. A good deed is multiplied by 10, and that is the default. That is the default, meaning that's what everyone gets. That when you do a good deed and it's accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then by default it is multiplied by 10. But all the way up to 700 dir'fan, all the way up to 700 times over, and more than that to Allah, He gives to whom He pleases. Ya ibadullah. So when one reflects upon this, then they will realize that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you for the little bit of effort that you put forward is way more. It's way more. It's that which you can never get. It's that which you don't deserve. And that is why none of us will enter into the Jannah except by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we can never earn it. We can never do enough to earn it. But rather it is by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the slave there will enter into Jannah, and your rank in Jannah will depend upon how much you did, how much you put forward, how much striving you did, how much sacrificing you did. Thus will be your level. But your entry is by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what are we doing to try to earn the mercy of Allah? What are we doing to try to earn the bounty from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? That is something that each and every one of us has to answer within themselves. Ya ibadullah. The houses in Jannah, as we understand, there is nothing in this dunya that could compare to it. So what you are compensated for building a masjid for Allah is that which is beyond your wildest dreams. Because reflect on the fact that the Jannah, al-Buyut, yani fil Jannah, laysat kad-dunya. That the houses in Jannah, not like the houses in the dunya. Reflect on the fact, al-Mawdi' shibr, fil Jannah, khayr min al-dunya, wa ma fiha. That the space of a handspan, the space of a handspan in Jannah is better than all of the dunya and that which is in it. The amount of a handspan, you see how small a handspan is? The amount of a handspan in Jannah is better than the dunya and everything in it. Everything in it. From your platinum, from your gold, from your silver, from your diamonds and minerals and rubies and better than all of that and more. Ya ibadullah, what are we doing for ourselves? We have time now. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs us in the Qur'an, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Every soul will die. Every soul will die. There's not a single person who will hear my voice except that they are going to die. When? Allahu a'lam. Maybe soon, maybe a long time, but you're going to die. This is the reality. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, إِذَا مَاتَ ابْنَ آدَمَ, that when the son of Adam dies, when the child of Adam dies, be it male or female, when the child of Adam dies, انقطع عنه عمله إلا من ثلاث, that when the son of Adam dies, his actions are cut off except from three angles, except from three things. Meaning when he dies, his good deeds stop. That's it. So you're alive now. What kind of striving are you doing that you have this opportunity that you are alive? What are you doing with your life? This is what we have to ask ourselves. What are we doing with our lives? Now, when the child of Adam dies, their deeds are cut off, they stop. Except for three. Sadaqah jariyah. A sadaqah that is continuous. Aslihi, that the origin of it is there, now, and the fruits from it is there. The origin is there and the fruit is there. I want you to reflect upon this now. Because if we strive to build the masajid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Will this fit the definition of a sadaqah jariyah? That it remains there and the fruit and the benefit still benefits the people? Because bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, the masajid that we help in constructing, they will outlive us. So when we die, they still be there. So as long as they're there, as long as the people are benefiting from it, then we get reward. As long as they're there, as long as the people are benefiting from it, then we get reward. When the Muslims establish the salah, we get reward. When the people come there and read the Qur'an, we get reward. When they come there and learn about the sunnah of Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we get reward. When the children come and learn about their religion and learn about the proper behavior and they learn that which they need to be good Muslims, we get reward. When the sisters come there and they learn about that which they need to be good wives, good mothers, good sisters, good daughters, so on and so forth, we get reward. Which one of us is striving after that type of reward? Which one of us is striving after that type of transaction? The other thing that continues, أو علم ينتفع به, or a knowledge that people benefit from. So whatever from ilm that we leave behind, whatever from ilm that still benefits the people, then we will be rewarded for it. The first place of learning is the masjid. The first place of learning is the masjid. I want you to reflect on something. Because the knowledge that is left behind that people benefit from, it doesn't mean you have to become a scholar. It doesn't mean you have to become an author of many books. It doesn't mean that. It means something as simple as you come to the masjid, you learn how to read the Qur'an properly, you learn tajweed, and then you teach it to your children, you teach it to your brothers, you teach it to those who you can teach it from. Now, as long as they recite and they benefit from what you taught them, when they read the Qur'an, you benefit. And then when they teach somebody, you benefit because they taught somebody. And if that person teaches somebody, then you benefit because the person you taught somebody who taught somebody. And so on and so forth until Allahu A'lam. You see? أو ولد صالح يدعو له, or a righteous child that makes dua for you. A righteous child that makes dua for you. The education of your children, it begins in the masjid. By bringing them to the masjid. By having a sound and a stable and established masjid, so they can come and they can learn about their deen. They can come and they can learn about Allah. They can come and they can learn about the ahkam, the rules and regulations of the deen with adillah, with the proofs and evidences. They can come and learn about Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They can come and learn these three important things. These same three things that you're going to be asked about in the grave. Man rabbuk, ma dinuk, Man nabiyuk. These are the questions you're going to be asked when you're dead in your grave. When those angels interrogate you, these are the questions you're going to be asked. Who is your Lord? What is your religion? Who is your prophet? The children learn and they prepare for that, just like you learn and prepare for that in the masjid. So when you reflect upon this, that which would lead to a child being righteous is them being reared, growing up and acclimated to being consistent and present inside of the masajid. Do you think you're going to have a righteous child and he don't care about the masjid? She don't care about the masjid. They don't come to the masjid only Ramadan. SubhanAllah. Ya Salaam. It is incumbent, it is a must that we set our children up for success. And that which is intricate in doing that, just like it is intricate in the equation of our success, or the establishment of the masajid. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. هذا يا عباد، والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. وأقيموا الصلاة.